All right, here we go. Show number 60 of Into the Cubieverse, and we are live.
Cubieverse is a GPS-based game where you walk to get keys, use keys to open trivia vaults, answer trivia to earn rewards, and use those rewards to enhance your in-game experience or convert them to real-life rewards. Thanks for joining us tonight, and get ready as we take you into the Cubieverse. Hello, Gold Miner. Hello, Atrocities.
Hey, Magic
Hi,
Dragon.
Wow, what a Hunter's Lodge today. I know we're going to get into that very quickly. We're going to do a brief week in the Cubieverse. So, Gold Miner, what do you got for us this week? Anything highlights for us?
sure. I think 2 times ago when we did trade checks, I think I got 2 or 3 extra bonus drops. We went to Sushi Quest yesterday. I got the knife again, so now I have 6 knives, which is awesome. I had a buddy quest the other day with Chabo Chip. Highly recommend. It took about 4.5 hours to complete. And he's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry it's taking so long. I've been out. I'm exhausted. Give me 4 hours." And I'm like,
Right.
"Wow, like, dude, 4 hours is awesome." Like,
Yeah.
so, highly recommend if you don't have him, add him onto your friend list. Let's see. Other than that, nothing too exciting. Still having the massive walking quest issues. I'm lucky if I can get past level 1. I think I got past level 1. Made it to 1.5 this week. That was the highest I was able to make
You
it.
tried playing with your GPS settings?
I
GPS.
don't like. You mean when you pull into
Yeah.
the wheel?
In the game.
I don't have that on my phone. It does not
Oh, okay.
have GPS. Atrocities has that on his phone,
Yeah.
but no,
Okay.
so I can't do anything. And I also have just recently updated my iOS system. Still, no difference at all. Like,
Okay.
I think it's
yeah. So
GPS settings are Android only sort of functionality.
Yeah, I'm more than 50%
Yeah.
sure, so
But
just
no,
thought
it's
I'd
good,
check,
yeah.
yeah.
And then the most disappointing thing, once you finally get to level 1, you still only collect those 75 keys. You'd think you might get the 300 as a nice bonus, but oh, no, 75. So that was about the excitement in my week. That sharp knife was the highlight, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, and as you mentioned, lots to talk about for the Hunter's Lodge, but that will come. So, Magic Dragon, how was your week in the Cubieverse?
The week was good. I had an excellent buddy quest. The name is slipping me. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I don't know. So if you're watching or whatever, please just make a comment in the chat. It was great buddy quest, great communication, got done pretty quickly. Like one day, I think, because something happened. I don't know, my brain's all mush right now. No bonuses that I could tell from the trade shacks. I still have the issue where sometimes the whole screen goes black and doesn't show me what I'm getting. But
So is that
sometimes
50-50 now? I thought it was resolved. So
it was mostly gone. Only happened once or twice. Now it's happening maybe 20% of the time. So it's happening a little bit more often. But I don't know. I'll send another bug report in if it keeps happening again.
got to start
Uh,
screenshotting your
oh,
inventory before you pull it.
and new for me, I've hit a level 8 walking quest every day this month so far.
Hey,
Excellent.
I'm in
congratulations.
6th or 7th hunter overall. Still a rural player we've made 2 drives to London where I get extra vaults when we're going grocery shopping and stuff. Otherwise, though, I'm getting 6 vaults a day, guaranteed. If I do the walk and get all 8, I get another 20. So, but it depends on morning and afternoon switch for me. I still got 24 hours to do the walking, so sometimes I only get 3 after the 8 o'clock switch. And being in hunter mode, I've also gotten 5 blue keys from White Vault and 2 green keys from Blue Vault.
Nice.
So that was a nice bonus. No more, chromatic blueprints for me though this week. Boo. I now I've actually gotten enough of them now that I get the green vault. I'm disappointed when I don't get one. It used to be like I know I'm not going to get one, so no hopes up. But now I'm actually starting to think, hey, maybe it'll happen. which I know is wrong. And I should do that because it doesn't work out generally.
I think you motivated us this past week to actually throw more keys
more?
in the green vaults. So we're thinking it's our turn. We're due, but I've had no success. So.
And this week of all weeks, like when they change the topics, woo, it's making a big difference.
Well, the nature lover is great. Well, I really like it in general. It's pretty good for the green vaults. I think, they're pretty obvious the answers so far that I've gotten. Has worked well. Health and medicine's good for green. As long as you can read fast enough, make sure you get all the information in. But that's it. That our week has just been walking a lot, and getting the vaults that I can. I like getting in hunter mode. I love getting those bonus keys from the vaults, which is
So
a nice
are you
little.
going for it this month to place high in the hunter rankings? Is that your plan, or is that just a default of byproduct?
I'm going for top 20 if I can, but I'm not going for it as in the way I'm hunting extra than what I would normally do on a daily before, except now I'm getting my goals every day. Since the tracking has improved for Android users, I don't get the spotty frustrations in Dorchester anymore where you can be walking along, think it's tracking, but actually your game's been frozen for 20 minutes and you had no idea. Like where the tracking was frozen. You switch back and forth sometimes, it starts spinning, you gotta restart, and it used to be awful. But now I'm motivated to walk along.
Awesome.
So I wish there was more than 8 goals. 8 walking.
It's like being a whole new player again, isn't it?
It is. I see the motivation. Like I always thought it was great. The game was great for motivating everybody to walk like that. But I'm actually enjoying the benefits of it a lot more now. My keys are going right up. All my extra white keys I turn to green keys. I just let my blue keys accumulate themselves. It's been great. So, anyways, atrocity. How was your week of the Cubieverse?
So,
anything other gold miners?
So first of all, I'm going to say I had a great buddy quest with DJ302, who is a watcher of our show. In fact, I see he's in the chat right now. So always appreciate getting a buddy quest with somebody who's supporting us and watching our show and whatnot. So shout out to DJ302. He actually contacted me, which I love having someone do that. Great communication from him. We were able to. I think he was busy that evening, which was fine with me because as long as you're contacting me, I'm good. And so the next day after work, we arranged to do it, and we're actually able to move up the buddy quest by about 15 minutes from our initial target, just based upon how things are going. So that was great and flexible. So really appreciate DJ302. If you would recommend him for a buddy quest. Otherwise, I got a couple hits on trade shacks this week. Best one was some corrupted ooze today, so always like my corrupted ooze.
Yeah.
When that comes around, pays out. That's nice. And then the other thing is, I feel like my success rate on questions has dropped, like significantly in some categories.
Okay. There've been some changes to the questions,
There
which
definitely have like sports, which had been becoming one of my go-tos.
Yeah.
Man, like I'm getting some questions where it's like, who won this? And it's like, I don't even know what the freaking sporting event this is, let alone these teams.
Yeah, I didn't even know. I can't even picture what netball is.
Right?
So I have no idea who won the 2023 netball championship. But I know it wasn't England.
You're right.
So far. I know it wasn't England.
Right.
It's a game with a net and a ball. Netball.
Right. Netball, yes. Yeah. What they do, don't know. But yeah, I feel like that, like sports, which was one of my go-to categories, not doing as good as that anymore just because of those sorts of questions. What's some other categories have popped up where I'm like, oh man.
Well, since you're talking about it, superheroes category is like no problem, whites every single time. But when you do the blues and it says what happened in this movie, like
Yeah.
well, that was this movie, which overlapped to that movie. Was the first part that happened was this,
Which movie was
and
this?
then oh, yeah, like that. So like trying to get perfect every time, it's a little bit rushed. But I do like that category as much as I thought I would.
And honestly, I've been watching the DC stuff, right? So some of those DC movie questions, ooh, right? Like I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
and then likewise, like, sorry, Gold Miner.
Who is Wonder Woman's mother? That's the one I keep getting that I can't ever get.
Helena, something Queen Helena or something like that. I think.
It's just one single names on them all.
Oh, okay.
There was one that started with an H. But I'm not a superhero fan. Well, I shouldn't say fan, but I don't watch. So I'm surprised how many I'm actually getting right, which is not a lot. but still, I'm impressed by that.
Yeah.
But not a category I can choose if I don't have to. Anyway, sorry.
No problems. So those are kind of my key things. Just see some chat comments here, and I say novel norm. Mathematical equations. First of all, as CC said, probably shouldn't be driving answering questions if you can help it. But for math questions, rule of thumb that I tend to use is second smallest number is the answer 90% of the time.
Which is also the same rule for geography population questions.
Yes.
Second lowest population amount. Like
but
population that was 16 million.
The population one changes though when it turns from white to blue, in my opinion. Because when they're blue, they're usually not the second highest or second lowest.
Yeah, and that may be the case for blues or so, but all the time. But if you use that rule of thumb, go for the smallest.
It could help you a little bit. Yeah.
So, it also applies to geography, it seems, as well. So, for sure. And as to your comment here, but long press button for walking levels, you still at the keys. You got to collect the box to get the keys.
Yeah.
So, and I think the box stays out for a while.
5
Sorry, but 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
So if you got 5 minutes to get your box, if you don't get it, you don't get the keys. But I'm going to say a lot better than it used to be, because there are times whereby, I've lost boxes because I got to my house, it switched Wi-Fi signal, lost my box to get disconnected, which I haven't had that happen in a long time. But if you're doing whatever, gotta
doesn't do that anymore.
Checking. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with that, let's get into the Hunter's Lodge, because that was a lot.
Mind blowing.
Right? Do you guys want to make one or two words on your initial thoughts on the Hunter's Lodge before we get any details?
To everyone who said crypto would never come back. Right? Like, we are crypto now.
Gold Miner?
A lot of interesting changes. Like the Elixir stuff, that seems interesting to me. Like lots of it. Like obviously the crypto part. Lots of cool changes happening. It'll be interesting to see if a lot more new players or returning players come back, or past players come back now with those changes.
Yeah, good point.
So, and what about you, Atrocities? What did you think?
I'm going to say there's just a lot to adjust and to absorb. I'm thinking, a lot of implications on the economy of the game and pricing, which I'm hoping to figure out as we discuss today's show. So, all right. So, getting into it. So, obviously, they started off. They went back in time, covered all these changes. I only put one slide in here because they covered a lot of stuff and really were interested for the future. However, I did notice this one thing here. They're live in 40 countries now, which is awesome. Great growth. Did you notice anything, Goldman? I said to you, but Magic Dragon. Did you notice anything about the map of interest?
Lots of things are interesting, but I'm not sure what you're getting at. No, sorry.
I'm more looking at this spot here. Green's where they are.
Boom.
No, still not getting it.
No, I'm not sure what
They're saying they're launched in North Korea.
Oh, I'm sorry. My screen's
Sorry.
behind. Yeah, no, I see what you're talking about.
Right? They're not. No way they're North Korea. That's one of the places they said they can't go by embargo. But somebody colored their map said, "Oh, hey, they don't know the difference between North and South Korea." Anyways, I thought that was funny. So, all right. That was just me. Just think it was funny. Okay, so then of course there are two big topics here: the Cubiecoin tokens and then the seasons. Basically, they broke the Hunter's Lodge up in the two pieces. So now what they've done is they are announcing the Cubiecoin tokens. So in essence, they're making the Cubiecoin is now just in the game, not just in the game anymore, but they're going to launch it as part of the Solana blockchain. I had always kind of thought at the back, I don't think I ever verbalized it, but I was like, given that they're all in the crypto and stuff like that, like, why isn't the Cubiecoin a crypto? Or are they doing that in the back end to track it? I don't know.
Yeah, I just, with you, I thought it was a possible thing for the future, but I wasn't expecting it so soon.
Yeah.
This was something coming like way after QB battles, way after Apple amalgamation into the system seamlessly.
Yeah.
After it grew even more in players, like I thought it was a possible future thing, but I'm just like, wow.
Yeah. So the fact that they're going to mint the Cubiecoins on Solana blockchain, which in my mind it's not something that's super cheap to do, right? I assume that's going to cost them some dollars to mint that stuff and put that on there, which in my mind says they've got dollars are supporting against the game, which is good. And likewise, hopefully, if this means maybe they will have QB battles as a different game, and you got to export your stuff from the Cubieverse to QB battles through the blockchain. Maybe they're hoping, likewise, they can find other projects out there that need a coin or a currency that could, maybe start using the Cubiecoin. Don't know, but anyways, it's more than just a meme coin in my mind. So, right. Anyways, they've designed it, push some stuff around it. So hopefully that does some stuff. Hoth here. So 50,000 Cubiecoin equals $50.
Initial. That's their initial thing. It's gonna, as they said later on, it'll depend on the market whether that goes up or down. But just like in the game, 1,000 Cubiecoins is equal to $1. That's their initial offering or beginning.
Yeah, which was someone put the question in. Are you going to have some market stuff there to kind of prop up the price initially? And they said, well, maybe we'll see what happens. But yeah, if we can, export Cubiecoin out of the game and convert 50,000 Cubiecoin into $50, which could probably then go into Solana, then we're right back to where we were when we first started playing the game, right?
Yep.
If the price holds. So that's really interesting, really exciting.
But
the more people to do it, the more that value goes up, and it's just exactly like it was at the beginning.
But the only problem is with Cubi coins right now, it's hard to stockpile, I find. The auction house is so low in value that, and obviously, yes, I realize they're increasing the amount of Cubi coins that will be dropping in the future, but it's still not, even though I think they said it was 20% more, it's still not overly significant on a small amount.
It's always been like it worked when we were doing crypto with Ethereum and Bitcoin. We were getting small increments. It's good. It'll work for this as well. You just have to.
It will, but before we also paid in the auction house with keys versus Cubicoin or crypto at that point.
Right.
So it's like now if we're wanting to buy something out of the auction house, then we kind of have to make the choice of exporting Cubicoins versus buying something out of the auction house, which might help prop up the value of things that people are auctioning off.
Or buying it on the blockchain with crypto you have outside of. Because we're going to be import now as well too, right?
See, I'm not techie, so all that stuff sounds highly confusing, like buying, like what you just said. So to me, I'm like, oh, I don't know if I would ever be using that because I don't understand it. Problem of being an old person.
Well, we didn't understand Discord when we first started playing it either, right?
No, exactly.
And we've kind of got there, but no, I think you're right. I think it does have its implications on pricing in the auction house, because maybe people don't want to, now they can export it, maybe they don't want to spend Cubicoin in the auction house and they want to start spending it, right? And what does that do for prices? As like prices have been coming down lately on a lot of stuff, just because I think people had all this Cubicoin initially, and that's been slowly either concentrating in a bunch of players or leaving the game or whatnot.
As we talked about in our economics show, we expected that to happen.
Yes.
And it's finally happening now. But this could really impact that and have it happen even more, right?
For sure. But likewise, as Goldminer said, you can't, sell, like we used to be able to complete an event or early event and sell event items for a ton of Cubicoin and kind of build your supply up, right? And then buy stuff and dwindle it down. So we'll see what happens. So
the problem now is there's too many people with buy it now. The ability to put buy it now stuff up. I don't know. You can still do quite decently if you do it right away, but now it's not as good as it used to be to build up your Cubicoin.
I think you found that with
is what you're
Shamrock and the other guy, right? Whereby you put stuff up initially 30,000, buy it now, and somebody undercuts you at 25, and then quite quickly it drops all the way down to 10 or something like that. So
like if you have all the resources, in that case paint, and you have a lot of it, you can keep printing them and printing them and printing them. But like it took a lot, like because I recouped my amount that I spent on that blueprint. That said, now they're going for a couple thousand, and you'd never be able to do it now. But even then, like selling them for $12,000, $13,000 a piece, or 13,000 Cubicoins, it takes forever to make a good decent amount, right? And you have to have that one rare or very rare blueprint, like the vampire or something like that, before you can really do decently in the auction house nowadays. In my opinion, anyways.
Yeah. So you got to play the game, and it seems to me like honestly the best way to get Cubicoin at this point is green vaults on hunter's mode during happy hour, right? So and opposed to just pay to get.
Then there's the other problem right now with not being able to keys, and they're very rarely giving you more keys, it seems, for the Walking Quest issues with the iOS. So it's kind of a circular problem of not having enough keys to do things.
Magic Dragon made a good point in regards to the fact that he was on hunter mode, and he's actually getting keys, which is something that I've done since I've done a lot of because we've been on chill mode, just because you get more resin and pain as a result of it, right? So, yeah. All right, so moving to the next slide, so we don't focus on this one. So they talk about the allocation here. 10% is for the game.
I have a issue with the dog that I'm fostering right now, so I'll be listening, but I gotta mute it and go take care of the dog for a second.
All right, no problem.
Keep talking about this. I'll keep listening.
Sure. So, 10%. They've what was the total? 30 billion total supply of Cubie coins. So 3 billion for the game. The rest of it is public sale. So I guess people can buy it and bring it into the game, or as I said, maybe they're going to use it. People can use this Cubie coin in other games or other ventures as well, and then they're keeping the rest of it to kind of grow the game as a resource for them. So it is what it is. Interesting, however, where they talk about player reward pool unlocks over time. So season 1 unlocks 1 billion Cubie coin. So 30 billion Cubie coins total. 10% of that, so 3 billion Cubie coin, is available to players in the game. And in season 1, 1/3 of the total amount becomes available into the game. It'd be interesting to know how much Cubie coin players have out there currently, and how does 1 billion compare to that? Because if there's a billion Cubie coin out there that unlocks, does that effectively swamp the base of what all the current players have out there? Like, for instance, if I have 1 million Cubie coin right now, which I built up over 3 years of playing, and there's 1 billion Cubie coin out there, does that mean, like, I could potentially easily earn 2 million Cubie coin in this season 1, which is 3 months? Or how are they going to push that out to all the players? Like, if there's a bunch of active players, right? Mm-hmm. And then obviously after that, the amount of Cubie coins drops, to 1/5 of the first unlock, the 200 million, 180 million, and it's going to keep dropping after that. So I'm really curious as to what this 1 billion does, because is that all going to be distributed to players during the first quarter, or is that?
I don't believe. I think that's just the amount that's available. So if there was enough players to collect it all, then theoretically I should cap out. But I don't think we're going to come anywhere near it.
Yeah.
I just think you have to do it in stages, the amount that they release into the public.
Yeah, so maybe that releases, and they've got 1 billion for players playing the game to release in between what's in the game and the players. There's 1 billion Cubie coins. Maybe that's it. I get just curious as to, does this deflate the value of what I currently have as my Cubie coin base? We'll see.
Did you read the comment?
It wouldn't, because it'd be the same. Everyone's has heard of Bitcoin, right? And there's an upper level there's a maximum number of Bitcoin as well, and only so much was initially released at beginning times as well. So I think it's a similar type thing, right?
Yeah, I guess
and market will towards how much they're worth.
The real question is, like, how much actually is in players' inventory at this point in time?
Right.
Don't know that, so I really can't make a good economic call, but we certainly can ask a whole bunch of questions about it. So,
yeah.
We shall see.
Did you read the comment?
Sorry, what?
Did you read Makatiki Tiki's comment?
He talks about, if you import Cubie coins, will wreck the auction if the outside price tanks. Just buy cheap Cubie coins and import them, maybe. So you're saying that if people export Cubicoin, and then suddenly you can pick up price tanks out there, and you can pick up, say, 1,000,000 Cubicoin for $1. You could take your 1,000,000 Cubicoin. You could buy $5 worth of Cubicoin, so you get 5,000,000 Cubicoin imported in, and suddenly everything in the auction is cheap. Very good point.
Yeah.
Very good point. But maybe that's what helps provide some price support for the for in the game, or sorry, outside of the game, because people will be like, okay, at what point is it cheap? So maybe I want to pick it up at 1 cent, but you find a good deal at 10 cents, so it keeps the deal at 10 cents, and then,
Yeah.
someone
Yeah.
tries to keep it at whatever. So who knows?
Yeah,
We shall
I
see.
personally don't know enough about this stuff to say too much,
Yeah, it's all
but
potential, I guess, right? And without knowing it, all we gotta do is hope that as players, things work out. And then there's additional Cubicoin when they each daily active user milestones, which is good.
Yeah.
Hopefully they get to 10,000 daily active users, because that would be exciting.
How many daily active users are there now, though? Are there even 1,000?
I don't know. I don't think there is. What I would do, if I really want to figure that out, is look at placements, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I want to say I've had buddy quests where people are ranking like 3,000 or so in the month, and it seemed like they're doing good. But if I was but I want to say that's probably with the lowest I've seen. I don't know if anybody in there is there. The one thing I do know that I feel kind of gauges active users is the amount of stuff that's for sale in the auction house, right?
And there isn't a lot lately.
And there isn't a lot lately. I would say the best way to judge as an outsider is when they have an auction, Hunter's Lodge, Adventure Road quest of list an item in the auction house. If you count how many items are available at a 3-day cooldown, if you wait till the next day, check it out, say, okay, look, there's 200 items available that are 3 clocks, then you could say there's probably 200. In that case, there's 200 active players, because you're going to assume all the active players have listed something, right? Plus or minus, because sometimes people are listing or so, but as a ballpark, that's how I'd ballpark it, right? So, and I don't think there's 3,000. Mind you, I don't think there's actually 3,000 items listed in the auction house. So, we shall see. But hopefully these changes are good for the game, grow the game. Like seasons here. So the other part of it was first was the whole crypto, Cubicoin as whatever, and then they're bringing seasons, which I think are cool to get more players actively involved. Especially when we talk about having 4 story arcs a year, which kind of makes games more engaging when you have these sorts of story arcs and things going on, and hopefully they're kind of cool. So these story arcs, and hopefully, maybe the story arcs continue over, or they're not just 4 different stories a year, because that might have a difficulty running in the content of stories, but maybe they're continuing but not at the same time. But these story arcs, 3 mini events, so it looks like probably 1 per month. Then each will have 3 coin quests, which is also what they announced both those things previously, right? Where they want to have 1 coin quest a month, 1 mini event, and then they're gonna have a unique season-specific cubies, consumables, headquarters, and more, and then 1 big event. So how do you get those season-specific cubies? Don't know. Is that going to be Adventure Road? Is that going to be something where you need to collect certain raw materials in each of the months before you can get the blueprint in the fourth month to print them out, or maybe
I changed the backgrounds as well.
backgrounds. Yes.
Like, kind of not just the standard night and day, but put some interesting stuff along the way, kind of like we've been doing at Christmas and whatnot.
Yeah, no, that'd be true, and possibly they'll sell more structures and stuff right in there. Like, and we can see here for the first one, this image. They got the ninja on the picture. They got the resin trees. Looks like there's a guy in the back here. In addition to these dogs. So, yeah. Anyways, I think it's kind of cool. So what do you guys think of these story arc type thing?
I like the idea of it. It's like a big event, sort of like I imagine it like this story arc is like the event for the season that has all the mini events and such underneath it. So I agree, it's going to be increased engagement
For sure.
and make it more inviting for other players.
Yeah, and hopefully you can retain players that way, keep them in, and it makes it harder likewise to stop playing because you're like, oh, I played for 2 months of this already. I'm going to play another month to get the new guy because I'm 2/3 of the way done. So I think it's a good thing. Hopefully exciting. Yeah. First one they announced is Dog Mania Cubieverse Season 1. Launches July 1st. I saw July 1st, and I get concerned because that's also the day for Canada Day event launch. And
not to mention right after that, it's going to be the 4th of July one too in the States.
Right.
Where that's a lot that could be
for sure
like overlapping and causing issues.
Right, because I know, like when we did the city event. Left the city event, but it was going on for a week, and then they had the first coin quest. We couldn't do the coin quest because we were still stuck in the city event.
Yeah.
So hopefully there's no conflict that way, or they work that around. But
I'm for now, right? So
yeah.
you know what to predict, what to look for in the future.
Yeah. So that is cool. With that, Illusion Weaver was going to flash this up. Art for the dogs, which he couldn't get up during the event, but somebody flashed that up at the end of the Hunter's Lodge, if anybody was sticking around the end to see that. So, looks like there is, 12 puppies here. I think that's about the same amount as our cats and tikis. I assume these are going to work that way.
What's on top of that Magnolia's head? Is that another dog?
This little puppy dog on top of that. Like, I looked at him and thought he was like Marmaduke or something like that head.
Huh.
So.
When it's smaller, it kind of looks like an orange. But yes, it's a dog. It's funny how they have some duplicate dogs and then some that aren't. Like some,
There's got to be something. Right?
I wonder which one will be the hard one to get.
Toy. I like Toy the Dalmatian.
Lots of cute little puppies here, though.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, so their art looks good. Definitely. They didn't say anything, but the impression I had is there'll be like the cats or the tikis. What do you guys think? Is that?
Yeah, I would think that's quite the similar way of getting it. So you get the blueprints. Now, how will we get the blueprints? Will they just drop, or will we have to buy a whole bunch of blueprints? Like, what do you think will happen with that?
They didn't say anything. There's nothing indicated that way, so we'll see. And it might be that you've got 3 mini events, so maybe during one mini event you get like a couple of dogs, and then another mini event, you get a few more, and then another mini event, you get another 3.
Mhm.
Right.
And then maybe at the end they actually release a blueprint where it's a randomizer blueprint for all of them. Like, who knows? We'll see. Guess we'll see. But puppies are good. I know whenever they ask you what sort of
doghouse again, and you get one common blueprint for a yellow key, like we did with the
hopefully
Christmas
not.
event. No, I
No.
hope. I'm hoping they've fixed that metric as well, and because of the announcement of the big ticker box, I'm hoping, being hopeful that they've worked out a few things like that, including
Yeah,
the blueprints for dogs.
absolutely. Hopefully that is the case. Okay. They do have the beta server they talked about announcing. Anybody can join the beta server and see some of the stuff ahead of time. So with that, hopefully a bunch of these bugs will get figured out ahead of time. I plan
And
on.
no employees this time. That's important. I really like that too. Anything you see on the beta server, you
Yeah,
can record, release, share with everybody, invite them to the game, tell them about the new features you see coming. I like that aspect of it.
definitely. I'll
Mhm.
make sure I'm doing it so we can kind of cover and talk about that sort of
Yeah,
stuff and whatnot. Um,
yeah.
so
I was in the beta server for Cubieverse and couldn't say anything or share anything with anybody.
yeah, yeah. But likewise, what we did with that was we did provide them good feedback, and they did
Yeah,
fix
yeah.
a lot of stuff, right? So it was rewarding that way.
Now we get to do both. Feedback and share.
Okay, so they get the new reward system. So it's going to unlock with this. So 1 billion Cubic coins comes available. Um, so there's 20% more Cubic coins versus the current average, which is good. So that's going to be the time when you're going to want to go hard, where they pay out more. But then after that, each season drops. So for 3 months, we'll get 20% more. 3 months after that, we get 10% more. 3 months after that, we're the same as we are now. Then after that, it's going to start to decline. I imagine, and that's similar to how some other cryptos and whatnot work. I imagine they might get to a point where, you're giving out like half a Cubic coin or something like that, whereby they will, like make Cubic coin pennies or whatever happens to be to subdivide it, kind of like with Bitcoin, they had Satoshis and all that other sort of breakout. So I can
So,
see.
sorry, back to that. When are we? So there might be times where we don't get any Kiwi coins.
No, I think you'll always get Cubic coin, but if you get to the point where it reduces to like it's showing as 0, they're going to have to, make a unit of measure like Satoshis or something of that nature, where you're getting part Cubic coins.
So then, is one supposed to buy any?
You don't really have to worry about right now.
I know, but that's down the road. I'm not sure I like that feature, and I don't know if I picked up on that one.
So the point I
Watching.
think you're probably going to though would be Adventure Road and exporting to get crystal keys, right? So if like currently we're exporting, in our case, well, let's say example as whatever 1,000 or was it 10,000 Cubic coin to get 1,000 crystal keys, and then you would spend 2,000 crystal keys to get your Adventure Road. Well, if the price or stays the same, and I'm getting like 1/10 of the amount of Cubic coin in a vault, that's not going to work, right? I assume they will adjust that at some point. The price of the Adventure Road and or Crystal Key. Would you not think?
I would think so, but we'll see what happens, right?
Yeah.
Now, Wilfred Ellis has said it has circulating supply. You spend in a game back into the supply, and then the auction house, shop, etc.
Right. So yeah, what they
But
said is that fee you pay, the 10% fee, goes, you know, gets
again,
cycled back into the game per se, but um, you know, it's still as a player, it's you're not collecting, you're harder getting it. So you got to either have resource to be selling to maintain your lifestyle. I would say your lifestyle, being able to export crystal keys into or export to get crystal keys so you can forward your venture road. And you know, they gave the example here now where the base, and of course with this they said hunter mode's going away. Everybody's going to be on chill mode going forward with and hunter mode will come into play for certain game modes or features or whatever happens, right? So with that,
how do you work with green vaults though? Like when you're going to try to get a chromatic blueprint, and because you have to only be on.
well, they're going to they're going to pay out based upon 1% of getting the green key right. So you have less pressure getting that green key perfect to qualify for the chromatic, right?
Yeah.
Right? Because if we go to that, like blue mode, so blues, they're going to give a 1% drop for the XP elixir, which obviously it's chill mode, so you're not going to be getting needing to get perfect on it. So it'll be 1% every time you get the XP elixir drop. And where they show right here for 100 for green, so it's a 1% chromatic blueprint drop, bonus drop. You can't have chill, so it's only chill, so it's 1%, right? Which is good.
Yeah.
Right? More people should get them. There should be less pressure on getting them right. But your and your Cubicoin reward will, you're not going to be able to get those bonus Cubicoins. Like I remember Goldmine, you got close to 4,000 Cubicoins at one drop on a green, which was awesome.
That won't be happening.
It won't be happening. Well, in theory, you can still take advantage of the happy hour bonus, but not the chill mode juice. And then the yellow has a 1% drop for the RNG QE blueprint. And then the red, 1% diamond export ticket. So given that, I think one red vote shows up a month, a week?
I think it's more like
one a week.
I think it's a week.
Yeah, so this looks like on average you're going to get diamond export ticket drop once every 2 years. So,
or like never.
or I guess that also assumes someone gets it right. So, so to export your Cubicoins to Solana wallet, I guess the good thing here is we've all gotten used to the coin hunt, how to export stuff, got our wallet set up, so that's good. Looks like you got to export though via web portal, so I assume they're going to have to set up you have to go on the internet, sign in, create an account, provide them some verification stuff, which if you go back, that's similar to what we had to do with Uphold, right? When we tried to get your Uphold account way back when. So once again, going back, I assume this export web portal is going to be something that they run and do, because you get a weekly export batch. So to me, that's right back almost to where we were, but except instead of exporting Bitcoin, we're exporting Cubicoin, which in a perfect world, you'd be export your Cubicoin and sell it for Solana, which you could then trade for Bitcoin or keep it on Solana blockchain, probably.
Yeah.
So the way I understood this, right, your export level depends upon your headquarters level. I think most players right now, we max at level 5. But seems you could be able to push it up to level 10 at some point. And your export account cap is not on this display, but Illusion Weaver did clarify that during the questions. This is your weekly amount that you can export. So, way I understand this is that I'll level my headquarters, and then I'll take my Cubiecoin and I can basically load it into my headquarters to perform on a weekly basis to perform an export of it. Obviously, I need a ticket to do the load, or maybe I can load it, and once it's there until I use an export ticket. I'm not, and I mean that's right.
Right.
Because that wasn't actually clear. Then use your export ticket. Allow you to load a certain amount of your export account. Yeah, export account. Okay, so I can load. I need the ticket to load, and the amount I load must go through my headquarters. But I thought we were using exports through the coffee shops and stuff. So I don't know if there's maybe my headquarter level. Maybe I have to go to coffee shop, but my headquarter level determines how much I can load. But I need a ticket to load. I get a ticket. So steel, 5,000, bronze, silver, gold, and diamond. So different levels of tickets. It seems like there's a lot of ways to get tickets, which is good. I think that's improvement on where we currently are now, because I've yet to get a ticket since they've implemented the game. Although the month, I think we placed 3rd and 4th as builders back in, was it October? I thought we were supposed to get an export ticket that month, but nothing ever showed up. So who knows?
I think it was just placed, wasn't it?
I know first place got it, but they I swear they announced up to 5th was.
I thought it was top 5 as well.
Yeah, but we never got it, so who knows? So obviously you can export tickets by placing top in leaderboards, global leaderboards. What I did like though was top 100 in your country. You can get a steel export ticket, right? Obviously, the good ones are 1 to 5, but top 100 isn't impossible, right? Like most players.
Oh, and it's something, right? It shows that most people, or a lot of people, can get something every month, which is a nice change.
For sure. For sure. No, that's great. And then, like they showed here, total export available from leaderboards each month. Like, to me, looking at this, a bunch of these are going to show up in the auction house, right? So,
yeah,
if you want to export, you should be able, like with the steels, you should be able to, buy a bunch of them in the auction house, even if you're not placing well in your country's leaderboards or whatnot, right? So that's good. Obviously, if you're in a country that is not that competitive, maybe you're placing top 5 pretty easily. Being able to earn them as well, top this through Adventure Road is great. The fact that there's 2 on the free side and 1 on the paid side makes me happy to stick with the free side. I don't know what your thoughts on that are.
I've bought Adventure Road every month since it's been out, and I'll probably continue to do so, because that's the stuff I understand. That's the game I play. The other stuff right now, hopefully I'll take advantage of it someday, but right now I'm just playing the game.
I will probably continue to buy it every month too.
And for the record, I was buying Adventure Road every month, but
I
then
know.
suddenly it's like, I need more crystal keys because I want to build and whatnot.
No,
And I'm like,
I want the same decision you did, but I can't. Just something in me won't let me not buy it.
yeah,
Well, I don't need that. I can just buy it in the auction house. And I'm like,
It, it's
I buy it anyways. I answer like one or two vaults without buying Adventure Road. I'm like, no, I gotta buy it. I gotta buy it.
so far it's worked out for me being able to pick stuff up the Adventure Road from Adventure Road in the
Yeah.
auction house. However, if everybody was starting to follow my strategy, there wouldn't be enough
Yeah.
in the auction house to be able to grab it, right? So,
Our stuff would go up in value if we ever go to sell it.
right, for sure.
Yeah.
And Giorgio NL, what happens? Commented here. What happens is existing export tickets are not used. Illusion Weaver did say that they will get converted into this system, and I think they are equivalent of a $50, so they'll convert to the $50 worth of steel. Not steel. What level would that be?
Is that gold? Or is gold before diamond? Gold, silver?
I think he said silver. I think it'd be silver at $50.
Silver,
Would be
yeah.
silver, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Gold, diamond.
your time here, atrocities. We're almost at 9.
okay, we'll keep going. We'll go fast. So likewise, I think we kind of commented on this, but you get export tickets. It says it looks like a gold export tickets from finishing events, which makes tickler boxes useful again. Yay!
That's, that was great to see, and that was the icing on the cake for this Hunter's Lodge for me. Seeing the tickler boxes becoming valuable again like that.
Yeah, because I think I skipped it definitely last tickler box because people were, and I've commented on it, where people were showing what they were getting, and it's like, but
So everybody can get $100 export ticket that finishes the event chain. So that's great for rural players like me, where you just finish the quest chain and I can still get an export ticket.
yeah, I'm loving this. I'm loving this idea. This is great, and once again, it's a good export size ticket.
Yeah.
It's almost too good to be true. Or I bet you they pull
Second
that
best
back at
one.
some point. But yeah, no, that's great. You get tickets from contest boxes, which are cool. 10% to get bronze export ticket. And if we go back, right, bronze ticket
$25.
is 25.
Yeah.
And gold tickets is 100. Assuming the Cubie coin maintains its value.
Bronze is 10,000. Sorry, $10, not
$10.
$40.
But like, assuming they may hold their value, like, what other games out there can you actually earn that sort of actual money by playing, right? So that's awesome, and that's a great sell for it. So contest boxes, referrals. If you want to get referrals, great. Personally, I try and refer people, but getting 5 referrals in a month, I feels like that's impossible. Like, these levels are cumulative, right? Like,
yeah, it's kind of hard to explain the game and the benefit of joining and playing sometimes. Now being able to export once you get the lingo down and
yeah.
you know you're being crypto again, it might start to get easier to get referrals again.
Like, I almost wish to see them saying like have a referral year. If I get 5 referrals in the year, I get this. If I get 100 referrals in the year, I get this. Or as soon as I hit these, maybe as I hit these breakpoints, I get these things. But these levels are just impossible, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would tend to agree.
Okay. So the other big thing here, earning export tickets from the Buddy Quest. What are your thoughts?
Good. I like the wheel idea with Buddy Quest.
Mm-hmm.
chance to win, get a yellow key again. There's also a good chance of getting lesser products than the 5 green keys, though. So
No, no,
I
no.
know what I'm getting.
Like when I looked at this here, right? The worst I can
Yep.
do is 5 green keys, which is the current system.
When you had it smaller, to me it looked like that was resin.
Yeah,
I see. Oh
no,
yeah, those
right?
tickets. Okay, that's better.
So I can, half the time I can get 5 green keys, which is where I'm at now. I can get a yellow
Yeah.
key, which is where we were kind of before, and
Yeah.
then
Export tickets.
export tickets.
Let's just hope this spinner wheel works better than the one in Toronto did.
Yeah, that was
Reset the
unfortunate.
button for us.
That was
I
unfortunate.
would love it if the buddies reset at the beginning of the.
Somebody said that your buddies reset every season. Is that who said that? Is that true?
Yeah,
I
that was
thought
on
I heard that, but I wasn't sure if that was confirmed.
Illusion Weaver posted that on Discord during
Oh,
the
yeah.
during the break where they were wanting people to submit their questions.
Wow.
It was at 2:45, I believe, exactly 2:45 on I think it was Hunter's Hangout.
So that's
I'm just-
huge, right? Because that means that if I get a season's 3 months, so if I get a good group
Yeah.
of buddies, I don't need to add to my pool, right?
I had a buddy quest every 2 days for 3 weeks straight when near the beginning when I started the game. If that could happen again, if I get 3 a week for 3 months, that's 36 buddy quests.
You could accumulate a lot of export tickets with that,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
I mean, that's wow. That's
I have found, like, kind of off topic to this, but I have found that my buddy quests have been happening a little bit more frequently this past few weeks. Like it was
Good.
1 week, but now it's
Oh,
so like 2 every week to 2 every 1.5 weeks.
Okay.
yeah. I feel
I'm
like
sorry. I'm pressed for time here on my end. Is there anything else we need to talk about quickly here? I know we're at the end of the show, but
let me. You know what? Let's just see what we got left, and then we can obviously cycle back to this next week's show and go in details on other things.
okay.
Count level perks, which is good. We'll get a bunch of stuff flowing to us right away,
That's really cool.
which is cool. The resin tree rush. I like this. Initially, we thought it was just popping up on green user votes, but it seems like it's green tags, which
This motivated me the most in one way from the whole Hunter's Lodge. Because of this Resident Tree Rush, I signed up for an OpenStreetMaps account today. Right? So I can get off my butt and put the proper tags that are missing from my town in there.
nice.
So this was very motivational that
Lots,
way. I knew
lots of park benches. So the question I have is, are these green tags that are in use with white vaults, or are these just green tags that are out there that don't have anything on them?
It's kind of today. You said no. I have no questions to submit during the Hunter's Lodge, and now you have all these questions.
I didn't have them until we started talking about it after the fact, right?
So much going on. It was just like
Right.
had to articulate your thoughts first before you could even come up with questions.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
changed some daily quests. Amber Resin Rush, which is a new consumable you can buy. Looks kind of cool. We talked about this a while ago.
Yeah.
The X Point elixirs, which will drop, which give you one-time 350 X Point experience. So the question I have now is I'm thinking about this, because I took it as I could get my elixir and I could give it to a Cubie, and my Cubie could use it once. But is that the case, or as long as I keep getting Moon XP elixirs, I can keep giving them the same Cubie? Or do I have to give them
I
different
think you
Cubies?
keep giving the same QB, but it has to be a new elixir. I think
Okay.
it's like a one and done. That's
Okay.
what I got from it. I don't know if that's accurate.
But you can get multiple of the same type of elixir. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So my thought on playing this would be to accumulate these, and then when it
Yeah.
says, "Hey, level 3,
Level up.
3 today,"
Yeah.
boom, that's when I use them.
Exactly.
Okay.
Count level perks. Cool thing was extra trade shack slots coming this way.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna scout out some new spots to add to our the route, which is awesome. So that's great. And then extra blue user vault.
Access. Sounds cool.
And then went into the Battle of the Wild West. So,
Yeah.
which I lost again.
I won.
W for me as well.
Okay, and then they announced the next one for June 1st, which is supposedly the launch date of the first season. So exciting.
Well, no, that's beta. The first season is July
July.
1st.
Right. This
But
is
you
the
can
beta.
do participate in
This is the
beta
beta.
as of June.
Yes. Right. Oh, that's an interesting point there, Plumber Boy, who pointed out that.
Plumberable. The 32, if you're level 32, you get one automatically. You can get the Amber Rush, though, I believe, at other points. That's
What?
just where they'll give you the extra account perks as a bonus. You see, you also get one at level 12, Amber Resin Rush.
Oh,
What?
like
How are we at atrocities? Are we around 50?
I think we're over 50.
Okay.
I think I looked at it as close to 55. But yeah.
And I'm slightly behind you, but
Okay, so I think we'll leave it
Some
there.
short-
We can come back in next week and kind of cover some more of this stuff in detail, get some more thoughts on it. Because yeah, we're going a bit long here. There's a ton of stuff to cover. Yeah. Any final thoughts before we go?
Nope.
The game just keeps getting better.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, chat, for joining us tonight, watching. It was great interacting with you guys. Good questions. I think we'll try and pick this up next week.
Share the link with other people who want to see the show. Maybe couldn't join us live. And just tell them to come check out our show because all the videos are still there.
Yeah. I had an idea.
comment and subscribe.
Yes, for sure.
Hello.
And I had an idea. I'm going to see if Gold Miner will talk to Illusion Weaver or maybe getting some things for a giveaway, loot code giveaway coming up. I can't promise that we're going to get that, but we're going to reach out. Anyways, thanks everybody. Have a great night.
Thank
Happy
you.
hunting.
Happy hunting.
See you later.